Alright, welcome back to TEW 2020, the brand split from day one. We are here. It is time for another episode of SmackDown Live. On this episode of SmackDown Live, we've got that three-way winner faces Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship between Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and John Cena. That is all that is going on, or confirmed for this week. If you missed the Raw episode, the latest Raw episode, or you haven't watched it yet, basically, I asked you all to give me event names, events for the future. I don't have the schedule planned out at all after SummerSlam. All that I know is that we will have the Big Four in January, March, August, and November. Other than that, I have no idea what the schedule holds. So if you want a specific pay-per-view to come back, write it down in the comments of this episode. Either this episode or that Monday Night Raw. I'm still looking at comments for that Raw. Once SummerSlam hits, no more. I'm not going to look at any more suggestions. I was going to only pick from the list of events that have been said, but it's only bringing back events, so I am going to splice in just a few modern day events to combat all the ones that are going to be coming back. So yeah, there's that. Also, I asked if you prefer to have Money in the Bank on its own show or at WrestleMania. Also put that in your comment if you care. Yeah, that's really much it. That's pretty much it. Not really much it. That's all I need to say before we get into this episode of SmackDown Live. To open this edition of SmackDown Live, we have our general manager, Daniel Bryan, welcome us on the Titantron. Bryan says that he will not be in the building tonight because he went and had a talk with the chairman himself, Mr. McMahon. He says that their talk was about the tag team championships, but more importantly, the lack of tag titles on the Blue Brand. Bryan said that Vince suggested that SmackDown should just get their own set of tag titles, but Bryan wanted one last chance to earn the ones that are already created and kind of just get another little bit of revenge on Stephanie McMahon for all those years of holding him down that she put him through. So in the weeks building up to SummerSlam, there will be a mini tag team tournament held to see who will face Big E and Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam. Tonight will be round 1 of 2, where we will see the Club take on American Alpha, and the Cologne Cousins take on the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor. The winner of those two matches will take on each other next week, and the winner of that match will fight for the tag team titles. So even if the SmackDown team loses, they will still get their own set of tag team titles, but the team that lost will not be able to fight for them first off. So hypothetically, let's say the Colognes go to SummerSlam, but they lose in that match. They are not allowed to fight to become the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So after that bombshell announcement, we are played by the intro video package. So yeah, SmackDown was a cold open this episode and a good 95 by our amazing general manager, Daniel Bryan. After that SmackDown Live video plays, Becky Lynch comes out to cut a promo. Becky tells Alexa that she needs to eat her words now that Becky has proved that she is a top contender after her win against Nikki Bella last week. Alexa Bliss enters into the ring and says, "Did you really think that match meant anything? Big deal, Becky, you defeated Nikki Bella. Look, there were no stakes to that match. There was nothing on the line. Why exactly does that make my point any less valid? If you want me to stop talking, then actually do something about it. The only way to shut me up is to make me. If you want me one-on-one, then fight me at SummerSlam." Becky immediately accepts Bliss's challenge, and now we have our first, or one of our first matches booked for SummerSlam. Not our first, because of Cesaro's going to take on Seth Rollins. That's right. Not our first match. In a abysmal match, apparently, Apollo Crews defeated Bo Dallas in 750 by pinfall with the standing moonsault. Kind of just another match for Apollo Crews. Young talent getting showcased. That's what the story of this match was. But the storyline for this match was afterwards. Baron Corbin and Kalisto are on the Titantron. Well, it's Baron Corbin. As you can see by our arena, we are in Utah, which for non-Americans, there's this place in Utah called Salt Lake City, and believe it or not, Salt Lake City has this place called the Salt Lake. And what Baron Corbin does is he warns Apollo by throwing Kalisto into Salt Lake. So, yeah, fuck yeah. After Kalisto's wet ride, we have another vignette from this anonymous monster. Heavy pictures back on the screen. And the message of this short little 2-minute vignette is just that the monster will be here soon. After the monster makes his presence felt again, we had a match that had apparent terrible wrestling. I find that hard to believe. I would love to have seen this match happen. But Anderson and Gallows defeats American Alpha in the first match of this little tag team tournament when Carl Anderson pinned Jason Jordan with the Anderson Spinebuster. Kind of weird. I don't get why this is a thing in this game. I have to show you the Road Agent notes. But the reason they lost, they did not lose clean. They lost because Fandango interfered against Jason Jordan and Tyler Breeze interfered against Chad Gable as the finish. I don't know why it doesn't write that down. So after the first match in this mini tag team tournament, we just have another little backstage promo by the Dudley Boys, and they're just disgusted that they were overlooked for this tag team tournament. They are by far the best team on this roster, and they got overlooked for the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor. Are you kidding? So yeah, that's just the message that the Dudley Boys sent for us. After we go to commercial and come back, we are greeted backstage by the duo of Rusev and Lana. They're in that little interview area that was used a lot during this time. It's the same one in the 2K16 My Career where Renee Young would interview you, if that helps at all. Lana has a microphone and she tells the entire locker room that the Crush America Tour is going to have its next pit stop at SummerSlam. And any dirty American that thinks that they can take on Rusev will get crushed. Lana then points the mic at Rusev, but before the Bulgarian Brute can say anything, he is clocked in the back of the head with a nasty boot. Rusev falls to the ground, and we just hear the attacker say, "I accept broski." The camera then pans up to reveal that it was Zack Ryder who laid out the United States champion and accepted the open challenge. Zack Ryder versus Rusev at SummerSlam. That's going to make someone very happy in the comments, I can tell. I can already see it now. Fade into another angle where Dr. ZZ Loop is, discussing the injury that Bayley suffered last week. And the update is just that Bayley's arm, it is not broken, but him and the rest of the doctors will not let her attend SummerSlam. She needs to heal. She can't be getting into any more altercations, at least for a few more weeks. We then have our second of third match in this tournament, but the last one for the night. And about to head subpar wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, the team of Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura defeated the Cologne Cousins in 8:05. What the fuck Okay, I gotta go through my entire roster and fix these finishers, dude. What in the cross arm line? Okay. Finn Balor got 72, that's nice. The Colognes aren't over, and Shinsuke is not over, but generally a decent match. Good enough. But the real story is after the match when the Dudley Boys, they jump Balor and Nakamura, beat them up, and then put them through both of them through tables. I imagine the spot goes something like Bubba and Devon pick up Finn Balor, they both pick him up, throw him through a table that's on the outside, and then they hit the 3D on Nakamura through a table. 90 rated segment. That is nice. That is nice. And then right before we can get into our main event, which is going to go around 28 minutes, Dean Ambrose, he's on the beach. He's relaxing. He's just saying, I do not care who wins tonight because at SummerSlam, they're going to be fighting on my terms. I got off a phone call with the GM, Daniel Bryan, and he allowed me to pick the stipulation for this SummerSlam match. Now, whether it's Sami, John, or AJ, they're going to be fighting me in a street fight. Boom. Bombshell announcement. Dean Ambrose. Street fight for the WWE Championship. And that is the lead-in to our triple threat between the trio. And the winner of the triple threat is Sami Zayn. The match went 27 minutes and 48 seconds. Sami Zayn then pinned John Cena with a haluva kick. What happened for the finish was John Cena almost hit an attitude adjustment on Sami Zayn. AJ Styles comes in, tries to go for a phenomenal forearm on John Cena. John Cena dodges, hits a quick attitude adjustment on AJ Styles. Sami Zayn super kicks Cena. Cena falls into the corner. Sami Zayn, boom, haluva kick, gets the pin, and will be going to SummerSlam to fight for the WWE Championship. But that's not all that happens. After Sami Zayn wins, the club come in. They all beat down John Cena for losing, I guess. They beat him down because he sucks. And what happens is Anderson and Gallows hit the Magic Killer, I believe was that? Yeah, they had the Magic Killer. They hit the Magic Killer. Both Gallows and Anderson pull up Cena, each holding an arm. AJ has a microphone, and he says, "I'm sick of you getting in my fucking way, Cena." Ah, damn, he doesn't say fucking. "I'm sick of you getting in my way, Cena." So at SummerSlam, it's going to be me versus you, and the loser cannot show their face on the WWE television until after Survivor Series. I cannot wait till I rid this brand of you, Cena. Get out of my face. And Anderson and Gallows throw Cena out as we end this episode of Friday. It's not Friday. It's Tuesday night SmackDown Live. 89, not a bad show. Not a bad show. We had a lot of 90s, just flat 90s. So, not a great main event, actually. I didn't even notice that this got a 90 rating. I was hoping Sami would do a little bit better, but still an 84 is nothing to be bad at. The main event of SummerSlam will probably be Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, so I can have a little bit of a weaker. No, it would not be weaker. I'd say both of these matches in the real world would probably be equally as incredible. But in terms of TEW, I can afford to have a little bit of a weaker WWE Championship match if the Universal Championship match is what's going to be main eventing the show. So yeah, that's going to do it. I think I unintentionally did a lot of good building for this show on SummerSlam. I think that's 4 matches that are 4.5 if you count the tag team title match. I think it's half booked. So 4.5 matches booked for this episode, on this episode of SmackDown for SummerSlam. Next episode will be a Cruiserweight Classic. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you for episode 3, night 3, of the Cruiserweight Classic. Oh shit, I normally announce the matches on this show. Fine, they'll be on the screen right here. There you go. Pause it, look at those matches. That's what's going to be on episode 3 if I see you there.